I think if they were able to do that, then they could figure it out this year too.
I think that's why they started to learn that like not all best original songs are meant to be performed live.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and in this case, rather all of them.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. When they
them.
did Not To, I was like ready to run through a brick wall when they did that.
Well, I'm Just Ken was always fun.
Yeah,
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
that
they
was
bring it back for
that's the
next
spectacle
year.
you need. I liked the Oscar performance better than I liked Ken in the Barbie movie.
That's funny.
Like,
Going back to Not To, when the song first released, like this was before it became like ooh famous no. Yeah, I'll admit I was sick of that song, and Greg will remember this during the Roundtable that year. I was pissed that RRR was getting any sort of like Western recognition. Like, ooh, this is the new cinema. Ooh, wee, wow, Not To. I'm like, give me a fucking break.
yeah.
Like,
Look, slow-mo British sniper though. I mean, there's some good moments in RRR. There's some they're really nailing action movies. With,
film.
I liked RRR. I thought it was really good, but whatever.
Yeah, it was the perfect amount of like Bollywood absurd action movie, but like balanced. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like it's getting better. It's getting real. Oh, I'm sorry. I right. You've literally reminded me of that before. What is it technically again?
It's a Telugu movie, so
okay.
It's South Indian.
A different production
Yes.
base. Yeah. Is this the equivalent of Avengers Endgame being the only American movie nominated in a theoretical, like, alternate universe where
Yes.
the Oscars is based out of, like...
Yes.
Right.
It's a blockbuster schlocky film.
Yeah, you know,
Wait.
entertaining, good, like, anyone will enjoy it to see it, but, like, you know, to have that be the only representation is...
I could see how that's frustrating. Yeah.
Oh gosh, guys, I think I'm gonna retitle this roundtable as hashtag Justice for Luca. Yeah.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, we're gonna do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, at least Timothée Chalamet's got multiple nominations, so he'll have to, like, carry the torch for having gotten his career started. Maybe he'll call him out, who knows? But
Lord.
I sure hope so. In a way, he not discovered him per se, but like he definitely launched.
Well,
his
wasn't he in
career.
Interstellar?
Yeah.
before
He
that,
was
though?
in the
Interstellar's a
Everybody
good
forgets
hint.
that.
small
If you want
role
to
in
throw someone
Interstellar.
off, then yeah, saying like, hey, he was the kid in Interstellar.
What's up, y'all? This is Bree's Perspective with me, Preeta, and welcome to the Oscars Roundtable 2025, aka Why We Hate Emilia Perez. And
We'll get there. I'll be a defender.
We'll get there. And we are joined with some amazing members of our fellow Cinephile Cinemaniacs Club. Some familiar faces, or actually all familiar faces. We are joined with Dylan. We're joined with Craig. We're joined with Alice, whom you've seen in a lot of my opening videos. Hi, guys. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm
a little
feeling
bit delayed,
good.
but good to see finally.
Well, no, they only
Yeah.
just announced the nominations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to
I
form
mean,
our opinions in
on
less than
time.
24 hours. So
I mean, well,
I've got my opinion formed.
yeah, I've
Didn't take you very long.
I've got my notebook lying around there in the corner, so I'm gonna grab that and like, yeah, Emilia Perez, probably 10 pages of opinions, queer 20 pages on why
Oh my god.
why it didn't get nominated and why it didn't deserve to get snubbed.
So yeah, we'll get to snubs. How's the structure? We're gonna be going through.
Yeah, so structure is we are going to go through the big 6 categories, that is supporting actor, actress, lead actor, actress, directing, and Best Picture. And before we get to Best Picture, we're gonna open it up to the snubs and controversies of this year.
What I live for.
And on that note, let's get started. So we're gonna pick who is likely to win and who is our personal pick. And who would you think would be the Oscar surprise? So, let's start with supporting actor. We've got Yura Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain, Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce, The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. Who wants to start?
I gotta
It's a
think about
pretty-
this. One of you guys go.
Okay,
Sorry.
it's a pretty
I'll
Jeremy
start.
Strong slate of noms. I'm not gonna lie. Picking the one Guy Pearce that I'm gonna stop this. So it's interesting. It's a cool list. Everyone I think could deserve it in some ways. Out of everyone, I've seen Anora. I have not seen A Real Pain, and I think that because that's such a friendship-based movie between Kieran and Jesse when they created it, that I think I have to kind of really see it to get that feeling of that connection, and maybe that really shows through his performance. Ed Norton for A Complete Unknown gives me big Tom Hanks in Elvis energy, so I don't.
What?
Again,
Whoa!
no, I haven't seen it.
Okay,
I have
yeah.
to be clear, I have not
Wow.
seen
Yeah.
it, so I'm speaking from complete ignorance. Guy Pearce, incredible. Jeremy Strong, incredible. So I don't think they beat Yura, though, still. So I would personally pick Yura, but I'm predicting it'll probably go to Guy Pearce, because I feel The Brutalist is going to be like the go-to artsy Oscars movie this year. However, Oscar surprise would not be angry if Kieran Culkin if Roy won out over Kendall. That would be interesting.
Ooh.
Okay. I would like to go next.
Roman.
Okay, Alice,
Yeah.
let's go.
I do love that this is Battle of the Roy brothers. Like, that is very fun. I did see A Real Pain, and I think it's really amazing. And especially for something as simple as it is, it probably does what it does the best of any movie that I've seen. And it was one of my favorites of the year. I was really moved by it. In fact, I kind of wish that Jesse Eisenberg was nominated for more.
Yeah.
Because I thought his direction and his acting were absolutely stellar, and the way that he was able to decenter himself in the story is very rare for male director/stars. Like, it was the least vanity project thing I've ever seen, for sure. I loved Yura. Is it Yura or Yuri?
Yura.
Yura.
People are saying it's Yura. Some of them are saying it's Yuri. Well,
I think it's kind of like Ivan and Vanya are the same name. Like, there's different conjugations of Russian names. Like, I think it could be that kind of situation. But Yura, I loved him. I don't think he's gonna win, but I loved him. I think Kieran. I'm actually, that's one of the ones that I'm most confident about. I do really think that he's gonna win. I did love the Pete Seeger, Edward Norton. I really loved him in that, and he made me very emotional. But I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think it was necessarily like
Show
the
stopping.
scenes. Yeah, it wasn't like the scene stealer. I think this is so random, but whoever the guy is that played Woody Guthrie, he was in it very little. I wish he had been nominated for supporting.
I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Scott McFerry.
Wait, the guy
Yeah.
who doesn't talk?
Yes.
Yeah.
I found his performance really moving, and it's as an actor, it's like a role like that is really challenging, and communicating without being able to speak, which is also one of the challenges of Parkinson's, and to play that role in a way that doesn't make the person look pathetic or comical or something. And I really feel like he was like the emotional touch point of the film. Like, they kept coming back to him for a reason. So like that, if we were going to pick a supporting actor from that film, that would have been my choice. But so I think it's going to be Kieran Culkin. I also do think he deserves it, so like that'll be my choice. But Oscar surprise to me would be Yura, because I do think that people had such a soft spot for that character.
Yeah.
And he really was just like such an interesting character, but I don't necessarily think it required any stellar acting. Like that's
Well, I've never seen it's Sean Baker, so it feels like a lot of his stuff doesn't feel like acting a lot of the time. A lot of it just feels like people interacting in scenes together,
like
which is
acting
cool.
to
Yeah,
me.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
Like
I've never seen something so effectively take what should have been in any other movie, like a tertiary character in one scene, and then gradually they subtly kind of become the lead supporting actor. Like,
No, well, but to me that speaks to the writing rather than the acting. Like the way that they wove him in, where he seemed not important in the beginning. Like in the beginning, I remembered thinking like, "Oh, he's low key hot. I wish he had a bigger part." Like that was my thought in the beginning of the film. I was like, he's really cute and he seems nice. Like, I wish he had a more significant role. And then throughout the film, he does get a more significant role, and I thought that was sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my take. Dylan?
Yeah, so for pick and prediction, I'll speak to the two of... I've only seen 2 out of these 5 movies, so it was a Nora and a Complete Unknown. And, I mean, I would have to pick Yura. I don't think he'll win. It'll probably go to either Guy Pearce or Kieran Culkin, just because I've heard a lot of good things about those performances. But
Agreed.
yeah, I mean, I just thought Yura, like you said, Alice, he comes into the movie and it seems like such an insignificant part, but then, you know, for the next hour or so, it's like he becomes this central character. And I do think that speaks more to the writing than his acting abilities, but I mean, he made a place in my heart, and I really loved him. So yeah, I mean, I do think it'll probably go to Kieran Culkin though, because I know like that movie was big on the whole friendship thing, and
Yeah.
It's their cousins. They play cousins.
oh, okay, yeah, cousins. All right.
I'm gonna give a quick synopsis. It seems like
Well,
some of
wait,
you, because
real
it's gonna
quick
be a big
question.
contender.
Is Kieran Culkin playing against type, or is he still playing Kieran Culkin in this? When I'm pretty sure Guy Pearce is kind of that's I think going to be the big differentiator. Like if it's clearly a character that they're portraying.
Sort of playing Kieran Culkin, but at the same time, it's like you think he is, but then you realize that the character is kind of a fucking loser.
Right.
Yeah, and
Like he's not actually as cool as it kind of tricks you, and just because like the whole thing is that Jesse Eisenberg feels kind of insecure when Kieran Culkin is around, but it's not for the reasons that we think initially, because initially we think it's like, oh, everybody loves him and Jesse Eisenberg's kind of this weird nerd and like everyone thinks he's annoying, but then you realize that the real reason he gets so uncomfortable and nervous when Kieran Culkin is around is because he's like really damaged and damaging and kind of goes around like a tornado fucking everything up all the time, and so he's just kind of bracing himself for whatever nightmare is going to happen that he's going to have to figure out. And so like
And I also, I kind of felt bad towards the end for Kieran Culkin's character.
Yes, I felt the same way. I felt really sorry for him.
I felt really sorry for him because, okay, spoiler alert, towards the end, it's like Jesse Eisenberg kind of offers him, like, hey, let me take you home, let me make you meet my family and everything. But he's like, no, I think I'm going to just stay at the airport and meet, like, there are a lot of crazy people who come out here. And deep down, it's interesting that Eisenberg kind of closes with his opening shot. If I don't know whether you guys noticed this, and you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, he is someone who maybe like presenting himself to be like really outgoing and shit, but deep down he's like really lonely. And that
homeless? Question mark. That's unclear to me. That was kind of a big twist, like him just being like, I'm just gonna stay at the airport. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, and it sort of made me feel really bad for him. Like, dude,
It almost made it feel like a play.
Mm.
That element of it, like he never left.
He never left. Wait, sorry, Dylan. We'll go back to you.
We kind of usurped.
Oh no, I've only seen 2 of the actors out of these 5, so I really don't have that much to add for this.
I guess
I
I've
would
seen
love to
3
see
of
your
5.
The reason I would really advocate for Yuri, even though you're probably right, it's probably unlikely, is that because he's a new guy to the scene, the Academy feels resistant, I think, to give Best Actor or Actress to a random newcomer, but Best Supporting, I think there's a bit more flexibility where
they're more
Wild
generous
Cards
with
and Black
that.
Sheep
Yeah,
can be a bit more generous because it's like.
He said he could be the
However,
Oscar
they
surprise.
did give it to Jamie Lee over Stephanie Hsu, so I mean, there's times when it doesn't exactly work out,
But then they gave it to Divine Joy Randolph.
very true, right?
Yeah.
So
She
it's
deserved
one
it.
that they're able to kind of give people a bit more notoriety if they really
Like
knock
they
out
do
the
it with
park.
women more than with men. Like they did it with Lupita Nyong'o when she first started with, I want to say, was it 12 Years a Slave? Was kind of her big.
Yes. Yes.
And she was
Yeah.
an unknown at the time and won the Oscar. It seems like for Best Supporting Actress, they're more generous with
Yeah.
newcomers.
Yeah.
Well, they did give it to that one guy though for what was that movie called? Coda, the deaf guy.
Yes.
Try closer.
Yeah.
Try
He was-
closer.
Yeah, he was really good too. I was happy with that they gave it to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, supporting actor can be
In
interesting.
Sound
I
of
think it can be a
Metal?
bit
Am
more
I
flexible.
making that up?
Wait, what?
Did they give it to the deaf guy in Sound of Metal? I know he was nominated.
No, I don't think they didn't give Riz Ahmed. You know, Riz Ahmed did get an award.
He's not
He
deaf,
did
honey.
get an award for Sound
No,
of Metal,
That's
but
not
he
who I'm
didn't-
talking about.
Yeah, Riz Ahmed's not deaf.
That's not who I'm talking about.
No,
Riz Ahmed
oh,
is not
no,
deaf.
the-
I meant the deaf guy in Sound of Metal, like the guy who coaches him, who has the long hair and kind of scruffy. And because I thought he was really fabulous.
Wait, is he deaf in real life? Wait, Paul Rassi, I don't believe is deaf either.
Really?
I
No
think
way.
in real
Yeah,
life.
I'm gonna
Hang on. I'm looking this up.
I'm gonna look for a place to hide. And
Well, because Paul Rassi just appeared in Sing Sing this year.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
I didn't get to
You're
see
right.
Sing Sing.
Wait.
You're right. He wasn't Sing Sing.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah, well,
Sing
he did a fucking good job, but I guess yeah.
Sing. Wait.
That's a
okay.
testament to his acting.
I guess so.
All right. My picks.
Yes.
I'm predicting that Kieran Culkin is going to win. Kieran Culkin / Guy Pearce. Because I feel like I've seen The Brutalist. He was really
Brutal.
pun intended. Yes, he was brutal in his role as I'm forgetting his character's name, but he was freakishly kind of scary and very manipulative in his appearance, on what he appears to be and how he's kind of portrayed in the beginning, and then towards like the second half, he takes a total 360-degree turn, and you're like, man, go fuck yourself. And who I want to win, I really want Edward Norton to win.
Really?
Really?
I want Edward Norton to win because I really loved his portrayal of Pete Seeger. I mean, with his opening scene in the courtroom, he had me hooked, and I
Sure, that was a fabulous scene.
yeah, I kind
yeah.
of like ceased to believe that this is the same Edward Norton who played Miles Braun in Knives Out. Or sorry, Glass Onion, which is, I mean, it's a sequel to Knives Out.
It's within the Knives Out universe. I don't think that's a.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like saying within Sherlock Holmes.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
plus, I was doing a bit more of digging. I found that actually it was Norton's idea to kind of transition to live singing on the set. Because earlier on A Complete Unknown, they were going to do recorded versions, but he went to Timothy and said that no, that it actually happened after they shot the banjo scene together when I'm forgetting the song they're singing, but after that scene, he was like, "Hey, you should actually switch to live vocals because live is gonna sound better because it was recording,
right.
like tweak it, you can do whatever bullshit to it." And it was like, and I'm so happy that they switched to live vocals. So I really want Edward Norton to win. Surprise would be either Yura or Jeremy Strong.
See, I didn't see The Apprentice.
I didn't see The Apprentice
I mean,
either, but as cute as Yura was as the brother, sorry, he was his brother, right?
no, he was
Cousin?
like the
Bodyguard?
muscle man, like
Bodyguard.
the bodyguard.
Yeah, the bodyguard.
Oh yeah,
Bodyguard,
Yura was just straight up like some goon. Like
Yeah,
not
he's
related
he
to
was-
anyone
He was
else.
Goonish,
Like,
very, very Goonish.
No, he is the
Goon?
ideal
Very
top
cute.
tier Russian
Very
goon.
cute goon.
Very
Yeah,
cute.
he's a bit of
Optimal
a-
goon.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a goofy.
Apologetic too. That was the best
Yeah,
recurring
he's a
gag in that
goofy.
thing. Is that he's like, I'm not a bad person. I'm just very good at my job. Like,
Yeah.
Really good at beating the shit out of people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes, that's true. But at the same time, as cute as Yura was, I feel like the Academy has kind of gotten a penchant for like giving it to actors who play absolute assholes, not even the slightest bit of
No,
pookiness in them.
that's so true.
So I'm having a feeling it might go to Strong. That's like my biggest surprise.
the only
And-
resistance to Strong and Stan, for that matter, is I think like people don't want to talk about Trump at the Oscars. I think it's like I
yeah.
think it's actually to the film's detriment, even though it's critical, of course, and kind of insightful in that history. I think it's
Yeah.
just like people are they're like exhausted. We have 4 years to talk about this. I just don't think they want to
Yeah.
even think about it.
And given
I hope the
how
topic
bad it seems like it's already getting, people I think have so much fatigue and misery about it. Like nothing's funny about it anymore, so like they can't even rip on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not cute, it's not fun, and I think that you're right that is going to be a big if only it came out earlier. Like it came out way too close to the actual election, where people were
yeah.
like too frightened about the whole thing to even
This
like
would have been a
engage
great
with the film.
2018 movie.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Or even 2021,
2021.
Just like-
right.
just like with enough space
Mm.
where like it wasn't right before we had to worry about all this again.
Right.
Like when
Yeah.
it would feel like a retrospective rather than like a portend of doom.
mhm.
Yes. Yes.
I do hope, I want to say, because I know that you liked the Guy Pearce performance from the trailers, and I really, really enjoyed watching a lot of the trailers because they're very shockingly well edited and I think speaks to the styling of the film.
Mm.
I will say that Guy Pearce, to me, the character's vibe was giving, we have Brad Pitt at home.
Mm.
Thoughts?
Mm.
Thoughts?
Okay.
Well, I think they would have wanted to cast Brad Pitt if they could afford him, because it was a very cheaply made movie, like cost-wise. They
Yeah,
made the whole
but
thing with $10 million, and that is
yeah.
the vibe of the character.
But at the same time, I would say Brad Pitt wouldn't have been able to pull this off because
So, but in terms of what Guy Pearce was going for and what they were going for with casting him, both in appearance and in style of
I
character.
see your Brad Pitt, and I raise you Ethan Hawke as
Ooh,
another
okay.
option.
Okay, I'll take Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke and Brad
I'll
Pitt
take
had a
Ethan Hawke.
baby, because there was kind of this almost southerny twang, like this kind of Inglourious Bastards, and or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood thing that he had going on, with a
Mhm,
little
mhm.
bit of Ethan Hawke, because they could not have afforded either of those gentlemen
Yeah, and
with the budget that they had.
I'd
Ethan Hawke would have been a
say-
little more affordable, right?
Yeah,
A
for
little
sure.
bit, but not,
Yeah.
but
And I
not
think
within
he's
a
a
$10
better
million budget if they already have Adrian Brody
Mm.
Yeah.
and Felicity Jones.
Felicity Jones. And speaking of Felicity Jones, we're actually gonna get into our next category.
Actress in a supporting role.
Best Supporting Actress. We've got Monica Barbaro, a complete unknown, Ariana Grande with Tara for Wicked.
Yeah, Butera. Thank you for saying that.
Felicity Jones, the Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave,
So happy she got in.
and oh god, Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. And here comes.
Now hold on.
I'm excited for what Craig has to say. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, but I went first last time, so someone else take the lead.
Alice.
Okay, I'll take the lead. I think that my pick, and this is tough because I really, really loved Monica Barbaro. I really loved her as Joan Baez in a way that surprised me, because when I saw the trailers, I was like, oh, I'm not interested. She looks like she's seen an iPhone. But I did really love her portrayal, but I think Ariana should win. I think Isabella Rossellini might win, just because the Academy is very nostalgic sometimes, and I think that not only does that film have a sense of nostalgia, but like her presence does, and there's like an inherent justification, like they would feel good about that vote, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I'm thinking about when they're doing the voting, like what might make them feel good about casting their ballot might eclipse what the actual performance was. So I think that Isabella Rossellini has a very good chance.
Mhm.
But I think that Ariana could be the wild card.
Mm.
Because, and I say wild card only because, like, this is literally her first film, and she's been known as a pop star for like 15 years.
I mean, it's not her first. She did come up in Don't Look Up.
Oh yeah, she should have
True.
been
She
nominated
was in
for
Don't
that.
Look Up. She was in Don't Look Up. That's true. But she still basically played herself. She played a caricature of. She played an honestly cruel caricature of herself.
Yeah.
And that character is part of what I didn't like about the film, and I love her.
Yeah.
So, I really think that, I mean, the tough thing is that I'm sure that next year, they might save her for next year,
Mhm.
because part 2, if you know anything about Wicked, it's gonna get much more complicated in the second half. It gets much, much more complicated. And I know that the original music that was written for the second half, a big part of that is for her.
Right.
So we have, like, it's gonna definitely tie her arc together, and I don't know if they're gonna want to give it to her 2 times, and it's possible that she'll deserve it more next year. But
That's a good point.
really, she did for Glinda to me what Florence Pugh did for Amy March.
Ooh.
She humanized and grounded the role in a way that very few of her predecessors have ever been able to do.
Right. Well,
So-
I'll give her that.
So
I'll give her
that, to me, and that's someone who's seen Wicked live on the Broadway more than once.
Yeah.
So like,
Uh,
so I do in that sense, like, I don't know everything about everything, but I do know what I'm talking about with that in particular. So
yeah. Yes.
I really admire the transformation that she undertook and how seriously she took it, and the fact that she's probably single-handedly responsible for it being a good movie, because she had the power on that set, and she put her foot down about a lot because she's a Wicked purist, and they wanted to do all kinds of modernizing nonsense with it, and they wanted to cut stuff and add weird things, and she's the one who would step in and be like, no, that's Bible, we can't.
Well, it was
mess
a
with that.
tightrope to walk, to not like undermine the original while still making it uniquely different in certain ways. Like, you know, the ever critiqued final note of defying gravity going on
Yes.
for a bit longer than maybe it should, but the like even in like Popular being, you know, a distinctly different take on
Yes.
Popular, same song,
They
but
wanted
her
Popular
version.
to be like a hip hop thing. Like they wanted
Yeah,
to bring
very much.
Ariana Grande to that. And she was like,
Hip
absolutely the
Popular.
fuck no. Like she put her foot down about that. So like even though it was different in the way that any musical theater artist would have their own take on a piece that they did. Like it wasn't Ariana Grande's Popular, because she already sort of has that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the song Popular Song featuring Mika.
Yeah.
But she sort of already did that. And so I have like the utmost respect for her as a theater professional, as someone who came up on Broadway, went to the pop world, but then came back home and really put her all into making it amazing, and not just making herself look amazing, but making everyone look amazing. Like she hand mixed a lot of Cynthia's vocals.
Oh yeah.
Like that's crazy. So I see her going really far in this direction, and I think that this would be the validation that would cement her as like an important film figure, and I just really hope that happens. So that's my soapbox about her.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Dylan, what about
yeah,
you?
hit it.
Do I have the floor?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so I think this is another category where I've only seen 2 out of the 5.
Which two?
Monica Barbaro, Felicity Jones I haven't seen, Isabella Rossellini, I love her, but I haven't seen that. And then Ariana Grande and Wicked. Who was the 5th one?
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe
Yeah,
Saldana.
Okay. So I've seen her and I've seen Monica Barbaro. And
You
just
didn't see
going off of
Wicked?
that, no, I haven't seen Wicked yet.
Bro,
I will. Trust me, I'll get to it very soon.
Yeah.
I mean, just going off of what I've seen, I have to go pick and prediction Monica Barbaro. Because I think she brought something really good to that character that was just like, I don't know, like it wasn't like stereotypical or cliche, you know?
at all. I totally agree.
There was an actual like story there. It was very well written. I liked the writing for that movie a lot. And yeah, I mean, again, like it's another category where I can't speak to it that much because I haven't seen 3 of the 5, but I think they would probably give it to Isabella Rossellini because she's like the OG. I mean, they did the same thing with Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, where it was like she had the worst performance out of those 5, but they gave it to her anyways because she's like, you know, Hollywood royalty. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like once I see Ariana Grande and Wicked, I'll probably lean towards her for pick. But yeah, right now I'm locked on Monica Barbaro. And Zoe Saldana, don't even get me started. I didn't like anything about that movie.
We're gonna get to the why we hate Amelia Perez section
Oh,
in a minute.
can I say one more thing?
Eventually.
Where is Margaret Qualley in this?
Yes.
Like,
Okay.
where is she?
That's
Like, I don't think she
probably the
should've
biggest
won.
snub of the night, outside of challengers not appearing at all. But that is
Or
still
Queer.
the
I
biggest.
think Daniel Craig for Queer was the
Guys,
biggest. We'll get there. We'll
That
get
too.
there.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. we're gonna
And
have like a
supporting actress. There was another supporting actress that I wanted that didn't happen, and I'm trying to remember who it was.
Okay,
Which
in
movie?
the meantime, I
Which
got
movie?
the.
Okay, meantime,
We'll give Craig the floor, and I'll think of it.
Sure. So, okay, from this list, so pick prediction and the Oscar Black Horse. Is that the idea? More
Yeah.
so, like.
Yeah.
Okay, so predictions. What I think is going to happen. Oscar. Weird thing is that weird stuff happens at the Oscar, and sometimes something happens, right? So
Mhm.
I'm gonna say prediction is Zoe Saldana. Not because I wouldn't be surprised if the Oscar went for it. That's the thing. It's not because I want them to. I would actually be surprised if the Oscars made a better decision in this category and picked like Monica Barbaro. So that's, I think, would be my surprise. And then personally, I would pick Felicity Jones for The Brutalist as Best Supporting Actress. again, it's one of those stories, kind of like Oppenheimer. It only works when you have the strong supporting female character alongside the kind of main lead that you're following. And
first for Nolan, wasn't it?
Oh, exactly,
Yeah.
right. And it kind of gives me this flashback to. Well, yeah, again, the 3-hour-long artsy movie, but it gives me a flashback to the last time that Felicity Jones was up for this was 2015 for Theory of Everything, where again, she was a really integral supporting female lead, supporting actress. So again, the fact she didn't get it for that in 2015 and had to wait a decade to get back up on the stage, I think it's time. I think she should get it. So she'd be my pick. So yeah, pick Felicity Jones. Kind of Oscar surprise would be Monica Barbaro, because I'd be surprised they'd make a good call. And I think predictions always Saldana.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna.
I don't think Ariana's necessarily in the running, because I think they're waiting for next year or whenever the second part comes out to really hammer home the awards for Wicked. And similar to how I think Wicked and Barbie hold a strange similar spot in the Oscars, where they are broadly popular,
I do agree
for lack of a better term, but I don't think they are the best film on most of these lists. They're very good. It's an incredible adaptation of the Wicked. It's an incredible adaptation of Wicked. Barbie is an incredible adaptation of the source material of the Barbie Mattel toy, but in both cases, they are not they are great movies. Highly recommend people see them, but they are not on the list that they're up against, not the best ones. So that's my point.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay.
So you're talking about the movies, right? You're not speaking to America Ferrera's performance?
No, not at all.
Okay,
I think the actual performances within them are quite good, but I think as a whole, they're popular movies. They're pop movies. They're great. They're fun.
Yeah.
There's nothing inherently wrong with them, but
I don't agree about that with Wicked, only because I think they made it a popular movie by it being good, but people hate musicals.
Yes.
this was one of the
that's
first well-done musical adaptations. I'll give it that.
In a long time.
In a really long
That's
time.
not to say there haven't. I mean, when you think about Chicago and Cabaret and Mamma Mia and
How about the Andrew Garfield one?
Tick Tick Boom.
Tick Tick Boom
But
went
I
over
think
great.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love Tick Tick.
Chicago won Best Picture. So there have been, and Catherine Zeta-Jones won Best Supporting. So it's been a long, long time, but there have been times when the Academy has acknowledged musicals. But the thing is that America as a whole generally does not love musicals. So I will say that the only reason that it became the Barbie of the year is for two reasons. They did a very good job marketing it.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And it was actually good. Because they marketed Mean Girls to very significantly, but it was a bad movie, so it didn't take off. Because things can be not great, but if it's a musical, they're gonna hate it even more.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was as good as it was, and that word of mouth was able to be like, guys, I know it's a musical. I know it's fucking Wicked, that thing that your 11-year-old cousin wouldn't stop singing back in 2004. But it actually was good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
the only reason that it's the Barbie of the year is because it passed the musical theater glass ceiling.
Yeah. Unlike, well, hello, nice to meet you. I'd like to talk about.
We'll cover it. Yes, this is true. Amelia Perez is another musical that reminded me why people don't like musicals this year.
Oh my god.
If it can be qualified as a musical, but it
No,
does
yeah,
defy
Amelia
the
Perez-
genre.
I felt the same way because as I was watching Amelia Perez, I was like, oh, this is why people hate musicals. Now I
So
get it.
the music in musicals in the and also Joker Folie à Deux, that didn't pop up this year and anything.
That was not that bad.
It was
Yeah, but that was a musical apparently too, right?
Someone
So-
It was
said
better
it.
than Amelia Perez.
Someone said it.
In the
Thank
words
you.
in the
Thank
words
you,
of
Dylan.
Lady Gaga, I felt this way about Amelia Perez. It's not a musical, it's just sometimes their emotions can't be expressed through words and we have to break out into song. Which
Did
is what
they
musical
though
is.
for Amelia Perez? Did they
They
have to
didn't.
break out in
That
the
was the
song?
big problem. A lot of the music in musicals are supposed to, kind of push the plot forward or to give more insight or to kind of, artistically depict a scene in a different way. But a lot of it just kind of felt like a scene playing out, and also people were saying the stuff to a beat.
Yeah.
Like the coolest
Yeah.
thing in the entire movie, in my opinion, they did was like ramping up to the final kind of confrontation section, and they're like loading a bunch of guns to the beat. Became this kind of like, okay, if they had that more consistently throughout it, where I can't get on this too long.
Let's leave it for the
The final firefight should have been a musical, and they didn't do it for some bizarre reason. The only scene that would have made sense to like elevate with a musical overture, they didn't do. Okay.
let's leave it for the I Hate Amelia Perez Club, which we're gonna get to later on. My picks. Unfortunately, I'm also gonna have to say Zoe is gonna win because she did win. She did win the Golden Globe, so she's got 1 point in the
It's a
lead.
good
up already.
indicator.
I mean, she definitely wasn't the worst part of the movie. I'll admit that. Like, I was kind of moved by her performance, but the film itself was just so bad that I couldn't,
Yeah.
I couldn't really appreciate it all that much.
Yeah.
Karla was better than her, but like still, the lead two ladies did their best with what they were given.
And I really want Ariana to win. I really want Ariana to win because
I think that would be cool.
as much as she made me have so many emotions about Linda, and that's
Her scene.
yes.
Like, no forms the wicked.
Mm.
Holy shit.
Mhm.
Those vocals
Put me on it immediately.
Those vocals hit like.
Oh my god.
I mean, Alice and I are singers, and even we can't hit that.
Yeah, I mean, like, the virtuosity of what she was doing at the same time, I think, is also being really undersold. Like,
Yeah.
just because she's a pop star, most vocalists don't have opera training. Like,
Yeah.
but she was
And-
a true soprano in this. Like,
Yes.
really.
I mean, holy. Those notes are like really.
She's soprano
really
to
high.
the soprano.
Yeah, she. Ariana, please give us some training. Alice and I are waiting.
Waiting with a notebook.
Yeah. And my Oscar surprise would actually be Isabella Rossellini, because I think this happened even last year. I don't know who the actor was, but despite their very limited screen appearance, they got nominated and they won supporting actor. This has happened in the previous years, and actually my surprise would also be Felicity Jones, because Ershbeth, I feel like she was the beating heart of the Brutalist. I mean, her end sequence confrontation with Guy Pearce's character, I feel like that was something which was like really raw, really emotional, and me moving to America, me facing all of, like, when you have all of these elements which are like directly going against you, and when you finally build up that courage to speak up, and that moment really resonated with me, to be honest. And I would be so happy if she did win for that one end sequence. So I'll give her that. Moving
Before we move on between the groups of two, is this where we could insert a quick Amelia Perez session?
Okay,
Briefly,
yeah.
just to get it out.
Sure.
Okay,
Go right ahead.
I finally saw it last night because I couldn't not, because it was coming up too much, but I was not hearing great things about it, so I wasn't very enthusiastic about it. And to get around that, I created Perez, which is my take on bingo, which is a bingo sheet of different things I, with no former insight or research, expected to happen in the movie, and I did end up getting bingo. So the line I got was passes Bechtel test, which eventually it got around to doing. but bizarrely enough, for being a female-heavy cast, took a very long time to get there. Strange character
Right.
decision. Someone flashes a gun and a knife in an NGO headquarters for some reason. Cartel member gets shot/shoots someone in the head. So that happened. Transphobia, okay, yes, of course, was in there. And sexual tension. So that's the bingo I got there. But amongst the others, there was, yes, a lot of things that happened in this that felt just strange. I have audibly say what as one of the things as well that eventually came around. Yeah, any other big ones that really stayed out? Yes, clearly French director. Moments that wouldn't happen in a movie that was not directed by someone as aggressively French. But overall, I mean, it wasn't like painful to get through, but I didn't enjoy it. So, 3, 4 out of 10. Like, it's not a good movie I'd recommend to people. And it is one of those films that is concerning. People have been calling it like this year's Crash, which I don't know if that's totally fair. I know. I think
the Crash.
the reason I hate the movie so much is not in its poor execution, but in the danger it causes through its existence of being a bad attempt to address the central themes and ideas it was going to tackle, and the way that that's going to have this kind of fallout on the communities it was trying to cover. Like, that's why I'm frustrated with the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it was written by and about a community rather than for and from a community. So,
Yes.
or no, not even by and about. Sorry, it was written, of and about rather than, by and for. So, anyways.
Well, one thing I will say in its defense, and this is having not seen it and being terrified to see it, is that it could have been much, much worse because Karla Sofia Gascon stepped in the writer's room and changed things because apparently it was going to be worse.
You could sense
I heard
that
that.
she kept people in line. There were certain sections where I'm like,
apparently they were gonna make the character really violent and aggressive and mean for no reason.
it still comes through a little bit.
And she
she's
was
repressing
but
her
why?
passion.
Like if she's a woman and she's being forced to portray this male, it doesn't make sense for the character to be this aggressive. They were stuck between they couldn't figure out how to balance their own biases towards Mexico and gang violence and trans women. There were just so many elements that it didn't know how to negotiate, and so she had to step in and be like, well, I am that, so I can tell you how to negotiate it if you're wondering. So the fact that they listened to her even though she wasn't famous, I do appreciate. I know why they listened to Ariana, and it's not because they cared about being right, it's because she was the most famous person in the movie.
They were smart enough to defer to her on things that they couldn't speak authoritatively on, but there was still a lot of decisions and these residual things that were hanging around where you could tell they just didn't have the time to change that up.
Yeah.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't get it at the first place. Why was it even directed as a musical? Because originally this was and to Alice's point that it was actually going to get much worse, it was. Jack O'Dard actually wanted to make this into an opera.
It's been better.
A live opera and not a movie?
I guess an opera movie. So it would be
The singers, and so it might have actually been less cringe, and the music might have been better because they would have needed someone who can compose opera, which is a much harder and nicher skill set, which might have ended up elevating it and making it less cringe.
Okay, as much as I liked Joker Folia Deux, because the way to kind of integrate music as a way of Arthur's expression or Arthur's kind of departure into fantasy, and how like Lee Quinn kind of like manipulates it and uses it to her benefit to bring out Joker. I feel like in that case, the music sort of really works, and the tracks they choose, that they're really well. And me, I mean, as a jazz singer, I really like loved the fact that I watched it in IMAX 70mm, filmed for IMAX.
Yes.
I watched it in IMAX 70mm. The moment the songs came on, oh my god, I was dancing. Like I was
wish I had seen it and I wish I had seen it. I regret it not seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many moments which were just so like swoony and dance. I was doing a little bit of tippy toe inside the theater. Well, I mean, as much as I loved how they kind of integrated music into a film like Joker, which is all about like crime and all about like destruction, and how someone so damaged and so abandoned by society can actually like have so much of a fall from grace and become this figure which kind of sort of represents an anti-hero / villain sort of vibe.
The more you talk about it, the more Joker really does sound like Emilia Perez, doesn't it? I think I broke her mic with that comment.
No! I mean, no. Emilia Perez is... Well, where's my trash can? Where's my fucking trash can?
Yeah. Okay. Have we shot on it enough? Have we? Any other licks? Any other final kicks?
Yeah, let me just say my favorite thing. You know what my favorite thing about the new Joker is how Todd Phillips, the director, basically just wanted to shake some reality into these incels who were idolizing him in the first movie.
Yes.
Maybe not so much, like, maybe that's the wrong way to put it, but he just was like no longer going to cater to that group anymore. And that was obvious, and I liked that decision because it's like,
yeah, and I feel, and
I expected the fuck out of that. I loved what Quentin Tarantino said. He had a great interview about how the movie was like just like a huge fuck you to everybody who liked the first one, and like
exactly.
in a good way.
In a good way. And I was doing a little bit of research about Folia Deux, and this is why Folia Deux works, and Emilia Perez, well, I don't even want to... Emilia Perez is one of those rats in the Nosferatu movie. Freaking lying in the grave.
Apparently very professional side, though, right? Willem said the rats were some of the most professional actors he's ever worked with.
I know. Sorry, I love rats.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe knows a lot about rats, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
And oh my god, and Folia Deux, it was like what was I about to say? Yeah. So Todd Phillips, he actually said that this was not exactly like Joker's story. It was Arthur's story who became the Joker, and the script was actually titled The Joker for the first movie. So the fact that everybody sort of like had this very tremendous response to the first movie, I guess this was sort of a reminder to his audience that this is not about the Joker. This is about Arthur and his struggles with the Joker. This is about him.
He's not the Joker. Arthur is Arthur, and the Joker is like a character.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that's what people didn't kind of get in the second movie. And frankly speaking, it didn't deserve to
The
be
Joker's an idea. He can't be killed. He'll just come back in a different form.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Eventually, after Arthur dies, Heath Ledger becomes the Joker. Or I guess if we're assuming it's all one universe or whatever, but you know, Gotham in the 70s has never looked better. Yeah, roughly. I mean, like, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. officially like shut the door to our I Hate Amelia Perez club. Feel free to drop it in our comments, but feel free to continue it in the comments because, well,
or disagree. Give
or
a good
disagree,
rationale
or
defense
disagree
as well.
and open like a side I love Amelia Perez club. So, and either way, we're gonna profit from it. So
Yeah, feel free to continue the dialogue.
And shout out to Alice's kitchen cabinet and kitchen oven
Yes,
for
it's
sponsoring our
Oh, yes.
for sponsoring our video.
Uh-huh.
Is that Whirlpool?
Yeah.
Okay, we got. So, are we starting with actor in a leading role or actress in a leading role?
We're gonna start with actor in a leading role. Oh my god, this is so hard. My winner is not there in this category. Oh my god.
Who are we looking
Adrian-
at here?
We've got Adrian Brody, the Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet, a complete unknown, Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes, Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Now, Dylan, I know in the group chat you sort of had a I told you so moment before any of this happened.
I told
No.
you so, or you told me so?
You told me.
What
you
was
told,
it?
Yeah, you actually made the prediction that Daniel is gonna get snubbed and Sebastian Stan is gonna sneak in.
I did make that prediction. Yeah. Well, I saw it coming. To be honest, I just did. I had a bad feeling, and it was right.
Yeah, so so the I told you so crown goes to Dylan out here.
Hey, I wish it didn't.
Prophecy is a curse.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
As written. I don't know whether you guys got that reference. It was a cute
Oh
reference.
yes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Please don't okay. He's
Please
So-
have Al-Qaim.
Dylan Algain. Okay. So, looking into it, from the list we got here. Okay, so pick, prediction, and Oscar weird dark horse. Picking personally, Coleman Domingo. He deserves it. He should get it for Sing Sing. Was he up for Rustin? I can't remember.
He was up
He
for
was.
us.
Yeah, right. So I think it's like, look, he's gonna get it eventually, in my opinion. And if it's not for Sing Sing, like, I don't really know where else he can go from here. Like that, what a phenomenal performance! Just an incredible leading guy. It's a movie about acting, and you know they love that. So it's insightful.
they
It's
didn't do-
emotional.
Well, if it's a movie about acting, then what the fuck happened to Babylon?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
fair.
Tell me
Yeah,
about
so
it.
I'd say pick Coleman Domingo. Predict, I'm not giving it to Timmy yet. He's still too early in his career. I think this is like Leo's first actor in a leading role nom, right? You need it
So true.
to keep your
That's a
career
good
high,
point.
but I don't
No.
think it's not that he hasn't earned it per se, but I don't think amongst the other crowd he's up against, he's necessarily earned it yet. He's still 3 years younger than Adrian Brody, who ironically, I believe
Was
is
the youngest to
youngest
win.
the
one,
youngest to
exactly.
receive.
To the
So
piano.
I think
Okay,
I
wait,
don't
wait,
think
guys,
Timmy's
guys.
gonna take it.
Mild correction.
Mhm.
Timothy Chalamet did get nominated. He got nominated for Call Me by Your Name.
Right, no, but youngest winner.
Yeah, youngest winner was Adrian Brody.
And he didn't win.
He didn't win. So he's like the youngest two-time
Okay, so
nominee.
like, yes, this
He's
is
the youngest
true.
two-time
It's kinda
nominee, but he
crazy.
hasn't won yet.
Yes.
So yes, pick Coleman Domingo. Predict. I'm predicting Adrian Brody. I think the Brutalist is hopefully recognized too much as just like the big, kind of artsy Oscar movie, big historic story. It's intense. It's 3 hours. I don't want to
sweeping
metagame it
drama.
too much, but like I think it's again there's a reason they picked Adrian for this in The Brutalist, and when the last time he got, of course, well not last time he got it, but The Pianist. Just similar vibe, similar story. They're trying to I think recapture that magic a bit. And then the Oscar weird thing. I think it would be weird, but I could see them giving it to Sebastian and then not addressing it again. Like, I don't know. maybe Timothy, but no. Like I think it's pick Coleman, predict Adrian, and then Oscar Weird stuff. I could see it going to Sebastian Stan just as like that's their little fuck you, and then they kind of move on from it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even want to say about this category. My winner is not here.
Yeah, me neither.
Why?
Yeah, same.
Why is he not here? I mean, I was watching Queer last night. The amount of surrender that Daniel Craig shows in that film. Holy Jesus. I mean, and it's not like he's not done this before. He has done this before. And a lot of people are now starting to like rediscover his earlier work, be it Angels in America, be it Road to Perdition, where he's done similar sort of roles. And I mean, had he been nominated, I would have prayed to gods and held like a special I would hold like a special puja for Daniel Craig to win, because he had my heart with Queer. But since he isn't, justice for Luca. And I'm gonna predict that Adrian Brody's gonna win. He's an Oscar veteran, and I honestly I did like his performance in The Brutalist. I'm hoping that Sebastian Stan wins though, because yeah, I mean I saw a few clips of The Apprentice. I'll admit I didn't see the entire movie. I saw a few clips of it, but based on what I'm seeing, he tried to embody this very villainous character that we see become a reality today, and he didn't exactly make it very caricaturish, and that's props to him. And
it was a very subtle performance, wasn't it?
It was a really subtle performance, and
yeah. See, I haven't seen that yet, so I can't speak to it really.
Because he nails the like subtleties and elements that aren't so obvious. It didn't feel like an SNL parody the whole time.
Exactly, it didn't feel like an
like
SNL parody. I'm really sort of glad that he didn't exactly mimic the voice that we all know today, but rather kind of gave it his own twang, or used his voice, but just changed the tone a little bit to sound more like him.
There was this interesting implication in an odd way that this early authentic version of Trump kind of evolved into the performance of the modern Trump we now see, and that's what kind of gave it some cool nuance.
Yeah, I agree. And he even mentioned this in an interview with Seth Meyers. Hashtag Seth Meyers, my bookie.
Had to plug him.
But yeah, he mentioned about like how he wanted to find someone who at that time had a bit more humanity in him, and then as he is now is like a far away version of what we see right in front of us. And I think he did an exceptional job in doing that. My surprise would be Timothée Chalamet, because I'll admit he did do a good job of embodying Dylan. It's just that I think he's played a bit too much of these asshole characters for a bit too long. Like, he played one in Lady Bird, he played one in The King, he's doing it, he did it again with, I mean, not exactly like did it again-ish, but somewhat on those lines in A Complete Unknown.
I don't even know if asshole as much as like very suave, because he did that in like Little Women. Like that was a very suave Laurie. When usually Laurie's supposed to be a bit of a goofball. Like
yeah, and
he definitely played Laurie kind of like hunky.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll give him that. But had he been nominated for Dune Part 2, I would have changed my prediction to Timothy Chalamet because
That's what I wanted.
yeah, because he learned a monologue in a completely total foreign language and
I'm saying.
delivered with that gutso, and the way he sort of like transitions from being Paul Atreides, someone who has an ideal, someone who has a very firm moral scale, to being this parent who not necessarily has that and knows only what is best to fulfill a prophecy. He sort of scared me with that transition, and not many people can do that. At this point, I feel like almost. But I'm having a feeling that they might pull off a Rami Malek with this one, and give it to Timothy because he played Bob Dylan. Because
he's Bob Dylan.
The Academy has a penchant for giving it to actors who play musicals.
But Rami Malek didn't even sing, did he?
No, Rami Malek didn't sing.
See, that's like.
Rami Malek didn't sing.
They're not giving it to the actor, they're giving it to the artist.
Mm-hmm.
They're acknowledging the artist because they feel guilty that they didn't acknowledge that artist when they were still at their height. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna have like a monkey in a tuxedo that can receive the Oscar for Better Man then at this one? Like, they would do that. They could.
It's funny. You're funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But yeah, I'd say my Oscar surprise is gonna be Timothy Chalamet. Dylan, what about you?
So I might ruffle some feathers with this take, but my pick and my prediction are Timothy Chalamet, and I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
I haven't seen Adrian Brody in The Brutalist, so once I see that, and once I see Coleman Domingo in Sing Sing, my opinion on this could very well change. But as of right now, I think Timothy's performance was really incredible. And that's coming from somebody who really is getting tired of musical biopics just in general. Because this one just felt so different. It wasn't like, my problem with musical biopics is it just seems like they're just going through a checklist and checking off moments in this person's career, right? And I didn't get that at all with Complete Unknown. But
it didn't feel as contrived as they often feel.
Yeah, I'll give it that, because this was more about like Bob Dylan's journey into turning electric, more than like a biopic per se. Because Bob Dylan's still alive, and I think it was more about the genius behind Bob Dylan's lyricism and how he sort of recognized the change in trends, if I must say, and
like the getting from point A to point B of it all. Yeah,
and embracing a trend before it actually became a trend. So,
seeing where the wind was going.
Exactly. Yeah. For the times they are a-changing.
Oh, I love that scene when what's her name? She hears it and she starts crying. Elle Fanning. That was such a wonderful scene.
Yeah, that was. Wait, Craig, have you gone yet?
To Bob Dylan to see that?
No, have you given your predictions?
Oh, for Best Actor? Yeah. No, I did.
He said Coleman Domingo.
Prediction Coleman Domingo. I think. Sorry, no. I pick Coleman Domingo. Prediction Adrian Brody, and then Oscar weirdness Sebastian Stan.
And
see, that's where I'll agree with on the Sebastian Stan thing, because there's no shot that he's gonna win. But you never know. I mean, strange things have happened with the Oscars.
What about you, Alice? What about you, Alice? Alice, have you gone?
I have not gone.
Let's hear it.
I think like for Timmy to win. I think that would be fun. And I think he did a really lovely job, not only portraying the character, but like he created a vessel for young people to learn about and explore like the magic of Bob Dylan.
Yes.
Like he single-handedly brought Bob Dylan to a younger audience, and kind of reminded people, like he didn't like create relevance for Bob Dylan. He showed people why Bob Dylan is still relevant. Like he was like, y'all are forgetting where we came from, and showed everybody. And I think that in and of itself, and like giving people the gift of Bob Dylan, I think is a really beautiful and special thing. And I, for one, forgot about Bob Dylan and forgot that he wrote some of my favorite songs, and forgot about his influence on a lot of the music that I love. And I think that a lot of people hear like, oh, greatest American songwriter, and go, yeah, whatever. Actually.
The movie really does hammer that point down, though, right? That Bob Dylan is such an icon. I mean, he's probably the greatest songwriter of all time, arguably.
Yes. They do.
But he didn't play. But what was so magic to me about that performance in particular is that it didn't feel like he was overplaying Dylan's greatness. Like I felt like throughout that film, he was writing those songs as he was thinking of them. Like, I really believe
being called the greatest like writer, musician, artist of all time. Like that totally makes the skin crawl, even with it being very accurate. And I think he knows that too. So,
and like it really, and like really, like his relationship with Fame, and his like when she was like, "I'm telling you, I love you. Does that scare you?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, we don't know each other very well." Like he really brought, I think, a very like, and the word grounded gets very overused in these kinds of discussions, but like this very down to earth, like just a kid playing guitar and coming up with stuff. Like when he was staying with Pete Seeger and his family, and how he was just like messing around on guitar and writing some of the greatest songs ever written. I really believe that they were spawning out of his head. Like that about that performance is what made me be like, wow. Like, I really, and the transition of him being like a sweet young kid to like being kind of a tool.
Yeah.
And how as an audience member,
like, you're kind of an asshole, Bob. Everybody in the theater laughed when she said
that.
Yeah, it's a great line. Like, and
and a great delivery.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
So, and the fact that like I felt myself falling victim to what the people in the film were doing, which was turning him, like young Bob, into a symbol. And whereas he rejected that, like everyone was like, stay with the tradition, like the serious protest folk music. Like you're bringing this to the next generation. Like you could change everything for everybody. And he kind of was like, yo, I'm one dude. I'm like 20 years old. Like that's a lot of pressure to put on one person. And like I found myself being like, no, don't do it, Bob. But then I was like, why? Like as an artist, I would be very upset if like my own fans were trying to stifle my creative exploration. And I like realized that that's what I was doing.
Oh, we still do that today for sure too. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that suspect that. Famously with, and this is probably a controversial opinion, but it's something that I didn't come up with. Taylor Swift, a lot of people compare to, because she was this very young, bright country singer and songwriter, and she started very young, and people really loved it, and she was bringing country to like young girls and to people all over the world, and she was like really reintroducing
that genre. And then when she wanted to start exploring pop, her own fans were being like, what are you doing? You're a country artist. You can't just like cross over. Like Red was initially super panned because
Yeah.
people, and it's one of her best albums now, but like it was really panned because people were so resistant to the change and so resistant to the crossover. And that's what motivated her to then write 1989, which is widely considered one of the best pop albums ever written. So in a way,
Yeah, the fan base veneration is going to remain. I mean, to this day, I'm sure that there's a lot of people that are fans of like Chapel Rowan that think she's going to lead the revolution because she
Yeah.
turned down the president. But like, again, I think she finds that very frustrating to be like, put on that pillar in a way and gone like, okay, no, look, I'm making songs that are saying something good and have good messages in them, but by no means do I think this is going to be like the thing that changes the world necessarily.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Chapel Roan, she seems like she does not like being famous at all.
Oh, she
Yeah.
would have loved to remain on, where'd she get her start? SoundCloud? No.
TikTok, really.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Pink Pony Club was like her first big song, right?
Yeah,
Something
that
like
was. Yeah, I listened to Pink Pony Club and Naked in Manhattan back in 2022. So I'm definitely I'm a pretty early adopter
Wow.
of hers. So I remember when Red Wine Supernova came out, and I was like kind of bummed when she got famous because I was like, wow, it's gonna be impossible to see her live now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
always
yeah,
the
no,
case.
Like I kept putting off like getting tickets to see her because I was just like, oh, I'll do it another time. But like they went from being like $30 to Lord knows what they would cost now.
$20,000.
On the note of phenomenons, actress in the leading role.
Good segue.
Nice. Just
Yeah.
keeping an eye on the time. But
Best actress, we've got Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Karla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison and Nora, Demi Moore, The Substance, and Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here. Okay, who wants the floor? It's an open popcorn.
I will pick. Okay, from everyone on this list, it's a pretty good slate of nominations. Again, we can only giggle once Emilia Perez is invoked, but Karla did her best. I will absolutely give her credit for definitely like acting. Like she did a very good job in that movie with
I agree.
the content that she was given.
I'll give her that. I'll
Even
give
more
them
so.
that. Sorry.
Oh yes, even more so than Zoe Saldana in some ways, in my opinion, I think. But I don't think she should get it or deserve it amongst this category. Again, she was the best in Emilia Perez, not necessarily the best of this slate. So my pick has to go to Demi Moore. Holy shit, The Substance. Even the fact it's been getting this amount of acknowledgement at this level at the Oscars, this is a movie that everyone should see, even if you're not able to make it all the way through, because it is rough. It is a difficult movie to watch if you're not kind of like mentally ready to see it, but it's
Or a horror
incredible.
buff.
Yeah, or a horror buff, or it's like if you're a fan of David Cronenberg, you can handle it probably. But like honestly, it wasn't even the gore and body horror stuff that got to me. It was the sound design. It was the snaps and squelches and clunks as things would like hit on each other and chip that just made my skin crawl. But of course, carried by Demi Moore, so definitely pick her. Prediction. I think Mickey Madison might have this in the bag. I think she's a really good...
Oh, Mikey Madison.
Mikey or Mickey?
Mikey.
Mikey Madison will have it in the bag. I think, really well done young performance, but she's been in some incredible roles in a number of movies too. She's got a very distinctive style, which is nice. And I think she's going to be on the scene for quite a while longer. So if she doesn't get it, it's fine. But I think Anora was just like a real home run of a movie for her to kind of show off. So I predict her. And then Oscar Dark Horse. It's not really a dark horse per se. Fernanda Torres could get it. I haven't seen I'm Still Here. I hear it's really good, but the dark horse, I'd say maybe giving it to Cynthia Erivo, because I think Wicked really works. Cynthia, I said.
You said Cynthia.
No, Cynthia.
I
I think
heard-
that's just some compression.
Funny.
Yeah, so Cynthia deserves it. And so if she gets it for Wicked Part 1, all great. But like I think we've been saying a few times, a lot of the big name awards I could see going to Wicked after Part 2 comes out. So that's it. Pick Demi Moore, predict Mickey Madison, and Dark Horse Cynthia.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go. I want, and my pick is Demi Moore. Holy shit, the substance. I after that film, I ran home and gave my body a big hug. That film scared the hell out of me. I mean, the way she sort of embodies and sort of shows the vulnerability of when you see it, when you see yourself in the mirror, kind of fading in age, and sort of losing the things which once made you feel beautiful, and then that obsession of just feeling young again and just feeling like yourself again. I felt to me kind of embodied that so well. The one scene I want to talk about is when she is like getting ready to go for a date, but ultimately she just gets so insecure.
Crushing.
And the way she puts
Oh
it
my
down.
Yeah.
god, that scene.
The way she rubs off her makeup and just throws all her jewelry off. Oh my god,
And it's a date with the
scene.
biggest wet fart of a guy ever, and it's still devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're still rooting for her to go on the date
yeah.
for some fucking reason.
I felt bad for her in that scene. I was like, no, don't do that to yourself. Don't be so harsh on yourself. I mean, that scene. Oh my gosh. I also want Cynthia Erivo to win. I mean, I felt, this is me not having seen the Broadway version, but I've realized that I am really alphabet coded. Like, I'm really alphabet coded. Like, I've literally got, and not just like wardrobe wise, which I've got like a whole lot of green, but in just like the way, in just like the character's way and the mannerisms and the hope she has of when she meets the wizard and what's gonna happen, and then ultimately when all of that comes crashing down, when that dream comes crashing down, and she goes on this kind of rebellious spree of finding her own voice and being true to herself. I feel like I'm really alphabet coded, and Cynthia Erivo made me feel things. She made me feel things. I'll give her that. I'm gonna give my Oscar surprise to Fernanda Torres as well. I haven't seen I'm Still Here. Have heard good things, but given that the Oscars just love to throw a curveball once in a while, and Fernanda Torres, I think she's one of the first Brazilian nominees for Best Actress ever since her mother got nominated. So there you go. Well, film royalty. So yeah, I'm gonna give my Oscar surprise to Fernanda.
Is it the
Torres.
only rep that I'm Still Here is getting as well?
No, I'm Still Here is nominated for Best Picture.
That's
and
international.
Right, yes.
International
Yeah,
Picture
yeah.
as well.
Okay, so if they don't get it there, then at least there's some other.
Mhm.
Yeah, if it was just that one, then I'd say for sure as the kind of dark horse. But yeah,
Well, I think we know that who Best International is going to, and I'm not going to even say it again because you all know. Because we're over that.
Yeah.
we're past it. We're done.
Yeah, I am. I'm past it. But
I don't want to do it. No, no, not Amelia. No. Alice.
Okay. So, I think, not to beat a dead horse, I do agree that Demi Moore is incredibly deserving. And I really do think that she has a major shot. The Academy is not historically amazing about horror, so that makes it a little less of a sure thing to me.
I mean, she did win the Golden Globe though, so that she has 1 point in the lead
It's
up.
always a
She has 1
1-to-1.
point in the lead up.
Yes, she has a shot, which, believe me, I'm thrilled about. But I just don't want to count my chickens before they hatch
Yeah.
just yet.
I'll give her.
Now, I also
hate
think
horror.
that Cynthia could get it.
There's
I
a built-in
will-
lack of audience in some ways.
Hashtag EGOT.
Because I think because the Academy does love an EGOT, like she's one away. So I think the excitement of creating a new EGOT, I think, would be significant. And I think Fernando Torres is not going to win, and it's going to make people really, really mad because every comment on every Instagram post about the Academy Awards that I have seen all season has been filled with comments with freaking Brazilian flags and stuff.
I've seen a lot of
Like-
that. Yeah.
Like nobody from Brazil will shut the fuck up about this. It's interesting saying we say nepo baby when it's a young person and film royalty when it's an older person.
I mean, we can also
Right.
we can give her the term nepo lady.
Nepo lady.
Yeah,
I
new
think-
term, guys. New term.
I think it's one of those things where Karla, I think, is the dark horse. Again, because everybody's sad about the world. And so, like, that could be, like, a symbol of, like, oh, yeah, I'm voting for a trans woman for Best Picture. Like,
Yeah.
I can go to sleep at night feeling like I contributed something positive to society.
Yeah, I'll say
Interesting.
that too.
So
I'll say
she's
that
my
too.
dark horse.
Yeah.
And because she's also gotten some acknowledgement, but I think it should be Demi, and that it could be Cynthia. And what were the other ones?
Oscar surprise. We got Fernando Torres and Karla. And we've also got Mikey.
And Kiki, what's it? I actually think Mikey will get it. I think it should be Demi or Cynthia, and I think it could be Karla, but Karla would be the dark horse.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance Mikey gets it. The reason why I think there's a good chance Mikey will get it is not because she was good, which I do think she was. The voting body, like, I hate to say it, the voting body is mostly men.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she's very hot and sexy the whole movie and naked all the time. And this is their opportunity to feel vindicated and justified voting with one hand.
And
my God.
Hey, and don't sleep on the fact that Honora is in a way similar to Amelia Perez insofar as it's a socially motivated movie in the topics that it covers. And I think it does it more effectively because it's from Sean Baker.
But this is a film. I'm talking about Mikey in particular.
Yes.
Because while I believed her performance as Honora, as a New Yorker and as someone who knows, like, Brighton and Coney Island and the people who are there and from there, like, and as someone who knows, like, lower income people from Queens and Brooklyn, like, she doesn't give off the vibe or look like anyone that I have ever seen or met.
Yeah, I felt like even with the, like, accent,
It didn't bother me that much, but like someone, even a stripper, like, first of all, none of them have like that kind of pale, creamy skin that's romanticized in film.
Yeah.
Like, self-tan. She lives by the beach, so I'm sure she's been laying out in the sun her whole childhood. Like, it just felt like, in some ways, like a love letter to the female body more so than like a realistic depiction of a sex worker from Brighton.
Like, Sean Baker is
Right.
someone who's known
I like
for
that.
hiring like non-actors to play leads in his movies.
Which
You
is
feel
why-
like he could have brought in a real sex worker or stripper from Brighton who could have like added another layer to it, something like
Should
that.
have probably, because they worked with a lot of them and studied a lot of them, and there were some that were like background roles.
Mm.
But like, and like, there are all actors who've like stunning actors who have transformed to look crustier. I mean, Charlize Theron won for Monster for a reason.
Yes.
Like, you would never have known that Charlize Theron, probably the most beautiful woman on earth, like, would be under there.
Right.
Like, they could have given her more grit, and they just did not.
Mm.
And for me, that sometimes took me out of it.
Mm.
Because I'm
Yeah.
like, this woman is like perfect looking and has a perfect body, and if she was willing to be a sex worker, she'd be on OnlyFans raking it in. She would be in a higher scale club. She would be an escort. Like, she would not be in some dingy midtown basement.
Yeah. I'll give her that. Dylan, what
I
about
get
you?
where you're coming from. So is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll try to make this quick. I think this is Demi Moore's year. I'm picking her and I'm predicting her. But the thing about this category, like, of the ones we've talked about, this is probably the toughest one, because the only one that I don't think has a chance is Fernanda Torres. But pretty much the other four are all, they all have a shot. And I've got it right here.
Yeah.
This movie needs to perform well, and I think it's going to start with Demi Moore winning. I doubt the Substance will get much of anything else, but I'm very confident that Demi Moore will win, because this is the first time she's ever even been nominated for anything in her 40-year-long career.
Yes.
So I feel like she's earned it,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
would
people
have no
feel
problem-
vindicated about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I would have no problem with like Mikey Madison winning, because I loved her in Anora. Karla Sofia Gascon, she easily could win, because we know how the Academy likes to pander. And Cynthia Erivo, even though I haven't seen her, I've seen the clips of her singing and her performance, like little bits of it, and she looks incredible in that movie. So yeah.
Not that it will come off like this, but giving it to Demi also kind of confronts the central theme of The Substance, which is the Academy kind of going, sorry for making you have to deal with this your whole acting career.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Such a good point.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And okay, quickie. Let's do Best Director. We've got Sean Baker, Anora, Brady Corbet, The Brutalist, James Mangold, A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And Coralie Farge.
And Coralie Farge for The Substance. Alice, you wanna take this one?
I want Coralie.
Me too.
I don't.
Me too.
I don't. But I want her just as a woman director, not to be like that, but like it would just be nice, and it would be so refreshing to have like that kind of talent be acknowledged in someone so early career, and to have that be acknowledged in someone who's not like just like a man.
It's only her second movie, right?
This is her
her first. Well, her first was
movie.
Bodies, which I
Wait,
loved.
Was it? No,
That
it was
was-
Revenge.
that was-
Whoa, hold on.
Wow.
Rain. That's Helena Rain. I was mixing them up.
Yeah.
Another female director who I love.
I like her a lot too.
Hers first was Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I don't know what Coralie's was, but Coralie just seems so like happy to be here. Like that's like her vibe that I'm getting, and I just want everything for her.
Yeah,
And I think
I'm gonna give it.
Yeah, is there anyone here that actually doesn't like want Coralie to get it? Like I think
Oh, I want to see Sean Baker. I want to see.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, just to put quick input, I've been a fan of Sean Baker since I got into movies when I saw the Florida Project. So I've loved that man for years now. So when he won the Palme d'Or for Anora, I almost cried tears of joy. So if I see him win Best Director, I probably will. Because
second choice. If I had to pick, I think The Brutalist might win direction.
it might, yeah.
Okay,
I think it has a good shot. Not that that's my pick because I haven't even seen it. I think that The Brutalist does have a shot at direction.
Because it's such a big, epic movie, you know?
It's a really big, epic movie. I'm hoping
on
that
such a small budget, too.
Yeah.
So, like, that takes direction.
That's really impressive, yeah.
To pull that off.
Yeah, and I mean, I really hope Coralie gets it. I don't want as much as I loved it, I don't want the Brutalist to win. And I think we're gonna get to why. Because 2 letters. But
you think Jacques is gonna win?
Oh God, man, I don't. Please don't let Jacques win. I am.
That would let me just say this. That would be a bigger insult to us as viewers than giving Amelia Perez Best Picture, because the direction.
Oh my gosh.
I hated the direction. That was the worst part of the movie.
I hated it too. And let's
things get nominated for things just because people liked the movie. I'm like, just because you liked the movie doesn't mean that element of it was good.
Yeah.
Was good.
Should not have been nominated. We're not discussing this category, but Anora should not have been nominated for Best Editing.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I'm gonna put a brief pause. We got a new member. AJW, what's up?
Hello.
How you doing, my man?
Good. How are you guys?
Howdy.
I'm great.
We're
doing
great. Yeah. So we are actually doing Best Director, and we are picking out who's more likely to win, who we want to win, and who's going to be the Oscar dark horse.
All right.
So, wait, let me get out the nominees once again. We've got Sean Baker, Anora, we've got James Mangold, a complete unknown, Jacques Audiard, Coralie Farja, The Substance, and who's the fifth one? Brady Corbett, The Brutalist. And I was just giving him an opinion that why The Brutalist might not win. Jack is definitely off the list, but I'm gonna say I think Sean might win Best Director because the Academy has a penchant for giving it to films which have won at cons. I mean, that's what happened with Jonathan Glazer last year. His film won a lot of accolades at Cannes Film Festival, and I don't think he won for directing. He did get nominated though. But films which typically do well at Cannes, they have a chance at winning either Best Picture or directing. So I'm gonna give this one to Sean.
Me too.
And my pick is actually not here. My pick who I really wanted to win is not here.
I wanted.
So
I think Sean.
Thank you very much.
I think Sean will win, but I really hope. I'm probably gonna butcher the hell out of her name, but Colleen Fargo for The Substance.
Coralie,
yeah.
Those are my two.
Yeah.
That's the
And-
vibe. Yeah, it's nothing special. Coralie Farge directed the shit out of the substance. Like it's one of those
Yeah,
movies
she
where
did.
like every frame that passes, you can tell is crafted to look exactly how she wants it to look. There's no
Mhm.
there's no half-assing it. There's no kind of, oh, we just happened to get that shot, or there's random shit happening in the background, or just okay and go on extras. Like every frame of that movie,
Yeah, it's very precise.
it's incredible.
They had to,
Yeah.
obviously, right? They storyboarded the shit out of it.
It
I'm sure.
definitely
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
storyboarded,
yeah.
Yeah. So,
I
for that alone,
mean, the
give it
way
to-
they
which
used,
I respect the shit out of.
yeah, the way they used at last in the final moments of the substance, I cannot sing that song anymore because I picture that scene where she's walking
So yeah,
out as
for
Mon-
myself, I would give it like I would give it. My pick is Coralie for the substance. Prediction, probably a Nora. I think Sean Baker's kind of gotten enough notoriety as like a really effective director that I could see him getting it for a Nora, because again, a very clear vision, kind
Yeah.
of developing his like auteur underground
Yeah, like this
vibe
is his
and
first
maintaining
film
that.
to break into the mainstream.
Yeah, but
Right.
it still kind of has that feeling of like, oh, this is like a guy with a kind of cool vision and connections to people that are, you know, in these communities and such. Anyways, so prediction for him, and then dark horse could be like, I don't even know if it's really a dark horse, but like James Mangold. I don't think
I'm
I don't
gonna
think the
say-
Complete Unknown
yeah.
should get best directing necessarily, but I think it's
I
one
like
of
the
those things
direction
where
But he's a very Hollywood guy, so it
yeah,
almost
again, I
seems
think if they
likely.
gave it best direction,
Yeah.
it would be because it's not getting best picture. That's kind
I
of my rationale
think-
for why it would happen.
And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. James Mangold, he already won for Ford versus Ferrari,
Mhm.
Yes,
Oh,
if I'm
direction?
not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
I'm very skeptical unless you're a Martin Scorsese or like a Francis Ford Coppola, whom, oh my gosh,
Yeah, right here.
we're
That's
not
me.
even gonna talk.
To be clear, you do recommend I see Megalopolis, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
of course, us. That's what I keep hearing. You know?
Always,
See it
I
if
do
always
you're
have to
recommend
stoned.
it.
See it if you're stoned.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
it's
It's
fucked
Stone
up
Cold
on something.
Sober, and I loved it.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, unless you're those guys who kind of get like a lot of accolades for their directing, I highly doubt the Academy is going to repeat James Mangold. So choosing a
Yeah, me too.
my dark horse would actually be Jacques.
Yeah.
And if they do, give it to Jacques Audiard for Emilia Perez.
Okay, I just want to say
See,
though, I
that-
think this is probably the least likely chance Amelia Perez has at winning, right? Direction. I mean, am I crazy?
The movie felt direction-less in the sense that it was trying so much stuff, different camera moves, lighting, framing. Like there was zero consistency across the entire movie, such that
All over the
there was
place.
parts of it that I liked. There was
Yeah.
scenes and imagery in it that I really enjoyed. Oh, that was really well lit. That was a cool way to do that sequence. That was whatever. But because there was
Yes.
no consistency in maintaining those moments across the movie, it was kind of like digging for these nuggets of gold. Like there was not really a cohesive vision of the whole project. So that's a bad director, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's,
yeah.
Well, wait, JW, what about you?
I think my dark horse, sorry, would probably be James Mangold for Complete Unknown. Because
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
either him or Jacques.
he's got a big wide variety in Hollywood. He's
Mhm.
considered a Hollywood-esque guy, and I would see the Academy going for him twice.
He's got the most clout out of the bunch, that's for sure.
No,
He's
for
got,
sure.
yeah, I'm gonna give that too. And before we get into our final category, I was hoping we could talk about some of the biggest controversies, snubs, and what the
You might
I
not want to get
mean-
me started on this topic.
Uh-oh.
no, please. I told I've got a notebook of snubs. I've got a notebook of snubs.
I've got one big snub that I think
Oh,
you all know what it
I
is,
think
but it
we
didn't
all
have
know
a
where
chance
this is
anyways.
going.
Okay, tell me
Yeah.
about it.
You want me to go first?
Hit it.
So last year, the best movie I saw was I Saw the TV Glow. That movie made one of the most profound impacts on me, on my brain, and the way I view the world. I was like, I sat there when it was off in the theater. I literally, this is the only time I've ever done this. I sat there for probably 15 minutes, just thinking, pondering it, what it all meant. And I really think that is like pondering. I don't know. That's probably not the right word.
No, I just like to
Uh,
Internalizing, unpacking.
Yeah,
Right.
just
yes,
like
just
reflecting.
I had to for a while because that movie just was like, I was so moved by it. Like I've genuinely never seen something in theaters that was that just impactful. I don't know. And I'm not going to go on for that long about this because I think that movie should have had at least 5 nominations, but if ideally it would have been 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, go off, guys, because you don't want me going on too long.
Okay. Okay. Queer.
Oh.
Challengers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Two-
challengers.
Great movies. One director. 1 year. You fucking ready to slap my phone. Freaking out. Like, why would I mean, I've spoken about this again. I'm gonna speak about it again. Daniel Craig.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
What about Zendaya for challengers?
Yeah.
He could have easily.
Zendaya!
I agree. Zendaya too.
I agree about that as well. I really loved her performance in that.
Yeah, I thought it was one of her best.
I think everyone in
And-
Challengers was
Come
phenomenal
on.
too, and the fact that none of the cast got anything is
Oh,
bizarre.
Josh O'Connor.
And same
for
with
Best Supporting
Queer.
Please.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Queer.
That's
Jason
insane.
Schwartzman, I really loved in Queer.
I
Yeah,
really
me
love
too.
Jason Schwartzman too. He was so endearing. He was like the support
He was a breath
person
of
he
fresh
plays
air.
for Joe. I mean, he plays Joe. I mean, for we. Sorry.
Bit of a non-conventional one. One massive snub in my mind is in the documentary category of all things. Will and Harper. Where is it? Why is it not there?
Yes.
Why? I mean, look, Amelia
Touché.
Perez has gotten so many fucking nominations, and Will and Harper was one of the most like introspective, honest analyses of like a late in life trans experience that I've ever seen, and it was beautiful, and it was really heartfelt, and it highlighted both the kind of real struggles and ability of a person to kind of overcome those with the support of like friends around them, and a legitimate attempt for someone to kind of come in and gain a better understanding of this community when they have basically no frame of reference for it. And the fact that it's not on the list, I find really odd.
Well, again, they can only do one woke movie.
You're right.
Yeah.
No, I forgot. I'm so sorry.
No, Amelia Perez was them throwing us a bone that we did not want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I yeah. Wait, JW, you were saying something.
I was. I
Yeah,
catch that. I was just agreeing with Dylan.
Oh, and
And-
yeah, Amelia Perez.
Yeah.
Yeah, Margaret
Rick-
Qualley in Best Supporting
Margaret
Actress.
Qualley, come on.
Oh,
Qualley,
that was
sure.
a huge.
But the fact she's not there, that's unfortunate.
Where is Denis? Where is Denis?
Where is
They-
Dune? Period. In this.
They hate
Yeah,
blockbusters,
wait, bro.
Yeah, I mean they did Dune dirty. Where? Okay,
It's up for Best
Trent
Picture,
Reznor.
but I mean, like,
I don't
Trent.
think it's gonna win.
Yeah, it's not gonna win, and I am god awfully sad about it.
Okay, wait, I
And-
have to do my snubs because I have to get off the phone soon.
Hmm.
So my snubs, obviously, anything related to Luca's 2 films. I actually would have loved Nosferatu to get more.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it got it.
Nosferatu. I'm surprised too. I mean, Nosferatu came in real hot.
But it was like really, I know, like towards the end, so it was like kind of cutting it close in terms of like how much time that Academy voters had to actually see it. So like I'll give them that, but I really would have loved like maybe a director nod or at least one of the actors, because I thought that I thought it was really
No.
great. Anybody except for Aaron Taylor Johnson or Willem Dafoe. I actually thought that this was one of
With the
Willem's
recent news,
weakest
baby.
roles. Yeah, period.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
And I
Rick!
think that I also would have loved anything for Baby Girl. I think Alina Rain
Oh, yeah.
really came out swinging and made a really strong, concise, interesting movie.
Mm.
And I think that it, again, I think that they felt that the quota for that vibe was fulfilled by the substance.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
older, established female actress feels shitty in it. Like they were like that. That is the one for that. But I really think
Yeah.
that it was something special, and there was a lot of great things about it. Oh, and
Yeah.
the Trent Reznor Atticus Ross score.
Yes.
What
I
the
hate
fuck?
that.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck? It literally won the Golden Globe and it wasn't even fucking nominated. Like, give me a goddamn break.
I wasn't even gonna mention that because I thought I
Insane.
figured it kind of goes without saying that should have been nominated
Mhm.
and should win. But
It should have been nominated and it should have won it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so... Oh, and one of my favorite films of the year, Janet Planet.
Oh,
I know that
yeah.
it was a long shot.
I
I
didn't
know
see
that it was
that.
a long shot from the start because it was so small. I just really thought it was incredible.
Oh
and
my
the
God.
writing, the
Yeah.
directing, the
Yeah.
acting.
Janet
I thought
Planet.
it was a beautiful film.
Yeah. I want to give like a really controversial opinion. The Brutalist should actually be rescinded from editing, and maybe yes, maybe no. Comment below what you feel about it, because Cuckoo also used the similar type of AI, which is used actually in the Brutalist to produce certain to correct some of the accents in the film. And Cuckoo,
I should rule out Adrian Brody, in my opinion.
You
Honestly,
don't think it should rule out editing, but I do think it should rule out Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah.
not Felicity Jones because I don't really know about her all that much. But I've heard the Hungarian accent is like one of the hardest to master. So
it is.
Yeah,
And they
it's
should have cast the
true.
fucking Hungarian actor. It would have been cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what makes a good actor, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I would give it that too. And I want to give a shout out to another film which I have literally been bombing the group chat to watch this film.
Imagine it's light. I knew,
Yes.
I knew you were going to say that.
All We
Oh.
Imagine as Light. It got a Golden Globe nod. It won Best International Feature. No, it didn't win its Best International Feature. It got nominated for it, but it did win Best Director at the New York Film Critics Circle. It won the Gotham Award. I mean, that's just one of the most beautiful films which has ever have to come out from India. Unlike RRR.
We can move on.
Wait,
It's
how do you feel
over.
about RRR?
I mean, like, I'll still stand by my hatred towards it. But yeah, All We Imagine is Light. Come on, where did that film go away? And I also want to give another nod. Austin Butler for Dune Part 2 for Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Fade
Yeah.
Rausa.
Yeah.
Fade.
Now that I think
Ralph.
about it more.
Yeah, I mean,
His voice in the movie was so good, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so scared that he was gonna sound like very Elvis-y and be like, "Oh my mama, ooh, he did this."
I was scared he was going to sound like Fade Ralpha for the next few years after Dune.
Yeah, I mean, and he was so menacing on screen. I mean, he literally embodied Fade Rausa in a way that he made my skin crawl. I mean, where is he?
Especially on the first Harkonnen scene.
Ah,
Oh, when they introduced him.
Mm,
yes.
Well, his
Yeah.
voice.
I love the little. I
can't-
love the little slime fireworks. It's so fun.
Oh my
They're so
god.
interesting. They're
So
so cool.
Yeah.
good. Okay. While the nominees are still to be determined, do we want to determine our choices for
Best picture?
Best
Yes.
Picture?
Oh, I have a
Okay.
list. Hold on.
Best Picture nominees are Emilia Perez,
Let's go.
A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Nickel Boys, I'm Still Here, The Substance, Dune Part 2, Wicked, Honora, The Brutalist. Who are we going to pick?
Wait, can
as-
you repeat it just because it's such a long list? Can you?
Yeah. Sure. Let's go. We got Emilia Perez, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Nickel Boys, I'm Still Here, The Substance, Dune Part 2, Wicked, Honora, and The Brutalist.
I guess this is the trend, isn't it? The top 10 now. I mean,
Yeah.
this has been more recent. I feel right with like it being at list at 10.
No, it always does. It always lists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
It's
For
always
some reason, I
10,
remember
I
it
don't
being like.
Yeah.
I remember it being
I
a bit
did.
tighter.
I
Yeah,
didn't
it
think
used to be. I
was
feel like it
10.
used to be a tier list.
I mean, it's been always 10.
I thought it was 6.
That's BAFTA. That's BAFTA.
It used to
Still.
only be 5, didn't it?
I'm just getting this up.
7.
Uh,
We're just saying numbers at this point.
yeah. No, I think it was always 10. I know for that.
I don't think so. I really
It
don't
has
think
been
so.
for a
Because like
while.
there didn't even used to be that many movies coming out every year.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
It
mean,
should have went from 5 to 10. It used to be 5, guys. From 2009 on, I was like, why are you all sounding so upset about this?
okay.
It
well,
used to be 5.
Okay, but it's been around for a while. It's not like it was a recent
Okay,
change.
it's been
so-
it's been around.
2009 is not that long in the scheme of the Oscars.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The Oscars has been going on for a very, very, very long time.
97,
Yeah.
baby. That's the next.
Mhm.
Yeah, 97 this year, right?
Yeah, 97
Yeah.
Oscars.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
only in recent history
Okay,
has
okay.
it become that.
Prediction time. And it is with deep regret I make the unfortunate prediction of Emilia Perez winning.
Yeah. There's a world.
No.
There is a world.
Why?
It could happen.
Why? Why should it happen? Don't let it happen.
Okay, well then what's your pick? And
Yeah,
what's your
the real one, the one you want.
Okay, whom do I want to win? That's a really interesting choice because I want so many on this list to win. I want Wicked to win. I want Honora to win. I want The Substance to win. There, I actually gave 3. My dark horse, though, is going to be Conclave.
Interesting.
Mm.
I doubt
Yeah,
that'll
my
win
dar-
much of anything.
No.
I doubt too.
That one's a dark horse.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my dark horse to Conclave because don't forget, All Quiet in the Western Front was also nominated for Best Picture. It won Best International Feature, if I'm not mistaken. And Edward Berger, I think he got nominated for Best Direction before for All Quiet in the Western Front. I'm doubtful he won that year. I think it was Jane Campion who won that year.
Which I was so happy about.
I think.
Yeah, me too.
God fucking bless.
Yeah, I'm really happy that Jane Campion won that year. But yeah, Conclave, I feel like is gonna be the dark horse of this year. I mean, I know it's gonna win a lot in the BAFTAs.
My dark
So
horse
that
might surprise you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
that can change a lot about this race.
Okay, so I would like to go next. Just because before I forget the
The
list
floor is
again.
yours.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you're right that Amelia Perez has a really good shot, unfortunately. So I think that Amelia Perez, Wicked, Nora, I think are my most likelies for Best Picture. My favorite would be Wicked or the Substance would be my personal choices, with Nora or Complete Unknown as a runner-up. And I would say that my dark horse would be Conclave. There's another one that I was like, it's really random, but it could win. Nickel Boys. Well, no, actually, I don't think Nickel Boys will win. I don't think enough people saw it. Hang on, let me look at the list because there was one I had. I think that. Oh, but The Brutalist. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Yeah, so I think either The Brutalist or Conclave could sneak in.
Oh, The Brutalist, right? I forgot about that. But I mean, Brutalist. I've seen the movie. It's a really good movie. I am really doubtful they're gonna choose The Brutalist, though. Ever since the AI controversy has come out,
I know, but the voting already happened.
The voting's already,
That is true.
the voting's already happened. But it might change up too. Who knows?
I think
Okay,
the
I
only thing that would
think-
change about it is if it got disqualified.
They've already paid their money.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
out the bag.
Yeah.
I think the Brutalist is for sure the most Oscar of these movies.
Yes.
In that it's kind of designed to fit that. Like, it's a long epic about a sad man and his struggles, which is good. It's a very, very good story.
God.
I know. Again,
And it's a
I'm
formula
being
that has
drastic.
worked
This is a
before.
drastic underplaying of what is a phenomenal story. But okay, I think if there ever was a dark horse candidate, as much as I want it to actually get it, The Substance has to be the ideal dark horse. I have no expectation that they're actually going to give it to them, but if they did, what a crazy thing to happen. So that's just by definition dark horse for me. Best
Yeah.
Picture, I am gonna give it to Honora. It kind of depends on what happens with Best Director in my mind a bit. If Sean Baker gets Best Director, I think Honora has a really good shot of getting Best Picture. And then my prediction is probably The Brutalist. I can see that getting Best Picture pretty easily. So, nice and clean, not too messy there.
Yeah, I'll give that. Dylan, JW, what are yours?
So my pick, and to be perfectly honest, my prediction too is going to be Honora. The Brutalist definitely has a big chance. It's probably after Honora, it might be that one. But my dark horse is going to be Dune Part 2. Because it got practically no nominations. What did it get? 5? I mean, the first Dune got.
Yeah, they got 5.
Crazy. When I first saw Dune, I was like, oh, that has to win. That's going to win everything. But now it only has 5 nominations. So The Substance being a dark horse is definitely true. But for me, I think it's just Dune. I don't think Dune has a chance. And if it won, that would really surprise me. But I want Honora all the way.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it simple. I know we're on a time restraint here. So limited time, right?
Last up.
Yeah.
Alright.
JW, what about you?
I think my answers are similar to Craig's and how I feel. I think it would be really cool to see The Substance win Best Picture, but with how it's going, I don't think it's going to, unfortunately.
There's no.
I'd say I really want The Substance to win as well. I feel like The Substance, it should have won. It should have been nominated for a lot more. I think it got 8 nominations.
8.
Yeah, it got 8.
Substance got 8.
Yeah, The Substance got 8.
Reasonable. I'll say reasonable. The fact that it even got more than 3 or 4 is kind of surprising to me.
I thought it only had 5.
No, it got 8. It got other than directing, Best Picture, Best Actress, It got production
Makeup.
design, makeup.
Production design.
I think it also got costume.
Yeah, I think it's got constant.
Yeah, they got costume. Oh wait, I forgot another snub. Rafferty for the score of The Substance. Come
Yes.
on,
Yeah, it's a
man.
very
Yes,
audio
that's very
focused
true.
movie, for sure.
Come on. Come on. But I think they got sound though. So
Like I said, I could absolutely see them getting sound design,
Mhm.
yeah.
which is
didn't
an
get
important category
cinematography.
for me every year. I'm very, very partial to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll give them that. But had like challengers / queer been nominated, that would have also been my dark horse, because I feel like both of those films are just so masterfully directed. I would have given Best Picture to Queer alone, or even challengers. Queer because of the ayahuasca scene, and challengers because of the match point scene.
Mhm.
If Luca knows anything, he knows how to make a good climax moment.
Mhm.
I mean,
Definitely.
and yeah, that was pretty much it. We're done, guys. We are officially done with the Oscars roundtable. Feel free to put in your picks in the comments. Guys, thank you so much for joining.
We're in
Thank
this
Thank
home
you for
stretch,
having us.
and looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing what the actual results are, and catching up on a few more staples
Yeah.
before it happens. So
Yeah, and
opinions are
please,
flexible.
please put your prayers in place for Emilia Perez to win 0.
Yeah. I'm manifesting that. Amelia Perez.
Red one
wins
snub
0.
all the way.
John
of course.
Baker wins Best Director.
Yeah, bring out your manifestation tools. Bring out whatever you use to
If we have any
manifest.
Wicca watching, please place a few spells if you may. The moon is just right.
Yeah, I mean, my Instagram usually gets flooded with, "Ooh, the universe has a message for you." Yeah, please someone send that to Jack Odiard and say, "The universe has a message for you." Fuck you.
All right.
Alright, have a good
that's
one.
it. Alright, that was it. Thank you so much
Awesome.
for joining. Do like, share, subscribe, do the whole shebang. Bye.
See you guys.
Good talk, guys. See ya.
Bye bye.